But you mentioned Oklahoma City and Cam Johnson, how that marriage seems to be prearranged. Oklahoma City, definitely one of the other teams that we would be talking about for like legitimate contenders in the NBA this season. It also helps that one of the people on this panel is a fan of the Oklahoma City Thunder. So, Alex, I don't think we need a sales pitch on the Oklahoma City Thunder and explaining why we should be convinced that they're actually as good as they are. Let me ask you this, though. What's going on with Shai being an MVP candidate? Where are we with that?
So, me personally, I think I've talked about this on the show like multiple times now because it's a frequent question. Yes, the OKC fan should Shai be MVP. Chances are the OKC fan's going to say yes. For a long time, I've been very and this is one of those things that's going to make people mad when I say it. I've been very dismissive of Shai actually being like a legitimate MVP contender. I'm like, yes, his numbers are really good, but if you're talking about like MVP, just is, and I understand Shai is completely and entirely integral to everything the Thunder do. Like, he is extremely important, and the value he provides is up there with the best. But when you're talking about like guys who do everything, like literally everything for their teams, like the Giannis's and the Jokic's, and to a different extent, Joel Embiid, just because his play style is not less heliocentric, but Joel Embiid has always been at his best when he has someone to play off of with like James Harden and Ben Simmons. Different discussion. With Shai, it's always been like, yes, on an individual level, Shai is incredible. He's, 30 plus points per game. He's got some of the best mid-range efficiency and one of the best mid-range scoring bags we've seen in, probably a decade. Yes, ever, but, it's a generational mid-range game. And his ability to drive is like otherworldly. You could argue he probably is the best driving guard in the NBA. So all of that is to say, while on an individual level he's very good, where I've always gotten hung up on is like, how is he making everybody else better? Because that's always a part of the MVP discussion to me, is like, how do you elevate the rest of your team? Because you can be as good as you want to be. How does how good you are help everybody else win? And in the past, I've been a little bit shaky in terms of like, yes, I think Shai, how good he is, helps everyone else win, but does it help everyone else win to the extent that guys like Jokic and Giannis do? This year is the year where I'm like, well, I think it does. Like, I do think that his contributions and his ability to score and defend, he's been an amazing defender this year. I don't want to, just talk about the scoring aspect. And I think his playmaking, while I'm not going to say that he's the playmaker that Jokic is. I'm not going to say that he's necessarily the playmaker that Giannis is. But Shai is a good playmaker. He's able to pass at a high level and facilitate your offense and distribute the ball. I wish he could throw more lob passes. Different discussion. Yeah, if you want to have Shai as your MVP right now, I'm with it. And given how the rest of the field looks, that's where I'm kind of like, yeah, the Nuggets are good, but they're not as good as the Thunder. Jokic's, stat line probably looks a little better, but sometimes the MVP goes to best player on the best team. And that's where I'm like, it just depends on how you view the award. And, I don't know who my MVP is right now. I truthfully don't.
I have a pretty strong opinion here, and just not necessarily about who the MVP is this year, but just about how the discourse the last couple of years shapes that conversation. I have felt that the MVP should go to the best player on the best team, if that best team is like some kind of like truly outlier historic level team, and if that player's numbers are, in the purview of like some of the best numbers in the entire league. Jokic the last couple of years has been winning the award because there hasn't really been a great choice for the best player on the best team. The best teams haven't had a guy who's had a clear MVP case. This year, SGA has a clear MVP case. His team's on a 70-win pace. They're the best team in the entire conference. They're by far and away better than Denver. So for that reason, yeah, I'm on the Shai train. And I think the last couple of years of just going with the dude who's like carrying the most or putting up the most insane numbers has made people think that's just by default what the conversation should be. And I don't think that's the case. And here's my other take that's like maybe anti how a lot of people think the award should work. But as far as I'm concerned, if Nikola Jokic doesn't fucking want the MVP and has made it clear he doesn't give a shit about winning the MVP and he already has 3 of them, just give it to somebody else. I'm tired of it. It's not like I love Jokic. I have defended his MVP case multiple times, but I personally don't subscribe to the idea of like LeBron should have won 8 straight MVPs in reality. I like it mixing up every couple of years. I think that is better, and I think it's fine, especially given the guy doesn't fucking want the thing.
Yeah, I feel bad having even brought up. I guess I inadvertently started an MVP conversation. I guess I'm the one that asked. Is he the MVP? It's fucking January. I don't want to even have this conversation right now.
It's always decided in the last 2 months.
Yeah. But really, what I wanted to, I guess why I was asking that was because I don't see that. I mean, I talk about, getting beat over the head with it, and you talk about in those last 2 months, the Shai crowd really heated up last year. I feel like that push hasn't really happened yet, probably because it's fucking January. But Alex,
I think he's number 1 on the NBA's ladder right now.
Yeah.
Is he? I have no idea. He might be. I have no idea.
Yeah, I think he is. I think he's the favorite currently.
He's also then probably the. Have you guys been paying attention to All-Star returns at all? I checked in like one time and then I
returns.
The vote.
Yeah, like the votes and like where they're at.
Oh, well, yeah, I've looked at him passively.
I'm just asking to say Shai's probably up at the top of that. How many players in Oklahoma City do you think would be considered top 35 guys?
1.
You think it's just 1?
J-Dub's probably not top 35 yet.
You don't think so?
Maybe. I mean, he's on the cusp.
35?
Yeah.
Chet is a top. When healthy, Chet at the beginning of the season, Chet was a top 35 player. You said 1.
That's why
you said 1. You said 1.
You said 1.
I meant 1. I meant 1 other than Shai. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Chet
I'm cool with
J-Dub
not being top 35, but I think he will be eventually. But he pisses me off sometimes. I love J-Dub, but he pisses me off.
It's weird how much like his defense was good last year. His defense this year has been great. And then I feel like his offense has kind of fallen off a little bit that's the trade-off there, I guess.
I feel like part of it is he just has to shoulder more responsibility because I think he looked better when Chet was playing, and then Chet got hurt, and it's like, oh, well, now J-Dub has to be more of J-Dub rather than just like some J-Dub.
I also feel like J-Dub shoots more jump shots for the quality of jump shooter he is than he should. But, yeah, that's having to do too much, like you said.
I wish Mark Dagnall would change his last name. I hate reading that piece of shit name. Change it to like Spider or Crumb or something cool. I don't know.
Spider or Crumb.
I can't spell his last name. Gun to my head. There we go. Mental exercise. Alex, spell. Rudy, pull it up so that you have it in front of you and you can spell check this. Go ahead.
I'm gonna stumble through this.
Like it's a spelling bee.
AIGNEAULT.
That sounded right. Rudy, what's the verdict? He's pulling it up.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, that's right. That was right. Good job. Good job. Would you rather have on your team, just as like I'm not talking about just Oklahoma City, but would you rather have 2 top 10 guys or 4 in the top 40, but none of them are top 10? 2 top 10 or 4
is at least
between 10 and 40.
Is at least one of them like 11 through 15, like at least on the cusp?
I don't know. Right. You'll have to figure it out. You'll have to take the mystery box.
I think just from a building a team standpoint and long-term success standpoint, you take the 4. You take the 4.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well,
the 2 stars model doesn't really work in today's NBA either.
I was going to say, do you want to be the Lakers? Because that's the question. Would you rather be the Lakers or like, I don't know,
well, here's
Boston?
the thing. You don't have to be the Lakers just because you have 2 stars. They just are.
No, I'm just saying, but that's what they are doing.
Right. I don't know. That's an interesting conversation, though.